The month of October has come to a quick close, bringing some great new games for Mac. Today, we're going to have a look at 10 of the best games from the past month, and at the end of the video, I'll be updating you on one of the most highly anticipated AAA games for Mac of 2019. I'd also like to quickly note, these Mac gaming videos struggle to get views these days, so if you're passionate about this platform like myself and this series, please leave a like, that way I'll know it's something that you still want from me. Starting at number 10, we have Pine. The first game on our list is a new open-world adventure game. It's developed by Trailbound and published by Congregate. If you're thinking it's like Zelda Breath of the Wild for Mac, well, don't get your hopes up just yet. Sure, it has similarities to Breath of the Wild from the visual style, world, and creatures, but it's also quite different. It has a much stronger focus on role-playing, from exploring, bartering, talking, and has lots of simulation elements. It's a good game, and I'm glad it arrived on macOS. However, the world is a little empty here. It should have some more going on, and the combat can become repetitive. Plus, it's not worth playing on Macs with integrated graphics cards. It doesn't run well. Instead, it's best played on 15-inch MacBook Pros or an iMac from 2014 and up. Number 9 is We Were Here Together. Total Mayhem Games have finally released the next online puzzle co-op experience. If you've never played a We Were Here title before, well, it's basically a co-op only game that requires both players to explore, solve puzzles, and communicate via your PC's microphone. This time around, players will be attempting to escape a haunted Castle Rock. We Were Here Together has a lighter tone compared to the dark and mysterious gameplay of the prior games, but presents a more polished art style and gameplay. The online player base is quite small, as it's not an incredibly well-known game, so it's best to have an actual friend that you can connect to directly. The game is best played on Macs from maybe 2011 or 2012 and up. Number 8, we have John Wick Hex. John Wick Hex is a new strategy game set in the universe of John Wick. It takes place before the events of the film, where John is on a rescue mission. It captures the tone of the films, from the combat, action, to the character of John himself. Now, there are many ways they could have translated the films into a video game, and for whatever reason, they decided to go with a fight choreographed chess type experience. It works for the most part. Sometimes it's a little clunky and could do with some more polish, but it's fun, and I think some of you will enjoy it if you're into this type of gaming genre. It's available to buy on the Epic Games launcher and should run on most Macs back to 2012. Number 7 is Lonely Mountains Downhill. This is a game all about going on rides down mountains, if you didn't get that from the title. You'll go through different landscapes, from thick forests, narrow trails, and rivers. You can play at your own pace here, which allows this game to be super relaxing. Or if you want a more challenging experience, try out the timed mode. It's a fairly simple, casual game, but I love the graphics, ragdoll animations when you crash, and level designs. I believe this game supports the Metal framework, so it should be playable on most Macs from 2012 and up. Number 6, we have Indivisible. If we get past the high price tag of Indivisible, it's actually a fantastic game for not just macOS, but on any other platform it released on in October. It combines the classic gameplay formula of a successful arcade platformer, but also brings in engaging and in-depth real-time combat mechanics. I really love the story, visuals, characters, and the voice acting behind them. Still, it has mixed reviews, let's be honest, and for some, it hasn't lived up to the expectations put out in the early days. If you are thinking of getting it though, it does have low requirements, so it should run on most Macs out there. Number 5 is Project RIP. So this FPS game has a Doom graphical style mixed with classic COD, zombies or killing floor type gameplay. It doesn't have a story, instead it presents fun arcade gameplay. You can choose and upgrade different weapons, go into missions where you attempt to survive rounds without dying, or you can go into the endless horde mode. When you first play, it's quite slow, but after you unlock guns and get some higher difficulties available to you, it's actually pretty challenging and addicting. Plus, coming soon, the developer Storming Tech are bringing the VR version to Steam, which will be playable for macOS, so that's pretty exciting. For this non-VR version though, I would like the developer to add more maps and modes, improve the physics of enemies, and polish the UI. Anyway, it's best played on recent 15-inch MacBook Pros or an iMac with a dedicated graphics card. Number 4, we have Rise to Ruins. Here we have a godlike village simulator that also brings you familiar gameplay mechanics from iconic real-time strategy and resource management experiences. This could be Black and White, Settlers, ArtRaiser, and more. I'm really awful at strategy games, apart from Age of Empires 2. I'm good at that game, but usually I have no idea what I'm doing, yet this game isn't too complex for my brain to understand. Mainly because the developer, Raymond Doe, crafted a wonderful tutorial at the start that really helps new players, and the user interface isn't too overwhelming. Rise to Ruins is still in its early days, not saying that is a bad thing, as there are plans to further update the game years into the future. If you want to give the game a go, great news, it's playable on most Macs out there. Number 3 is Manifold Garden. After being in development for 7 years, which is crazy, finally Chris Cher's puzzle adventure game has come our way. It plays with the aspect of physics, and it plays with it in an immense way. So to solve puzzles or to traverse environments, you can alter the direction in which you head. This means you have infinite possibilities to go in any direction you desire. And also, falling down leads you back to where you started. It's a really well crafted game, and you have to admire the amount of time it would have taken to craft the world here. I mean, wow. It's available to download on the Mac App Store if you subscribe to Apple Arcade. Please note, the Epic Games version currently does not have a macOS version, and the Steam version is said to come sometime next year, and I don't even know if that will have a macOS version. Also, Manifold Garden is supported on Macs from 2012 and up. Number 2, we have Afterparty. In this game, you play as two characters, Milo and Lola, who have died. They are dead, and apparently they have wrongly gone down to the depths of hell. So to get back to Earth, the duo must beat Satan in a drinking game. It's made by Night School Studio. You may remember they are the people behind Oxenfree. So this game plays quite similar with the conversation system and 2D exploration. Although Afterparty has a much more adult tone, which means it's definitely not suitable for children to play. Based on the conversations you decide to pick, This can change the story and your relationship with Milo, Lola, or others. The neon visuals are amazing, and there were moments when I would just stop and look at the world. I did notice some minor frame rate drops in more open environments, but it wasn't something to ruin the experience. Anyway, the game should work on Macs back to 2012 and is available to download on the Epic Games launcher.
Your bones will be broken every day by a ball-peen hammer for the sin of repeatedly misusing the express lane in grocery stores.
But I always have more than 15 things.
What? She wasn't even that bad.
Number 1, we have Borderlands 3. Well, this is a surprise. Borderlands 3 was just ported to Mac and supports cross-play multiplayer. The game is available to download on the Epic Games launcher, it's not on Steam. It was developed internally at Gearbox Software instead of Aspyr Media working on it this time. If you want to get the game, please note, it requires a freaking powerful Mac to run. You need a Mac that has an 8GB or better graphics card. That's right, an 8GB or better. 8! Hopefully they can optimize the port so that more Macs can actually play this game, because this excludes most models apart from a 27-inch iMac, or if you have an external eGPU. You can probably run it on a Mac with a 4GB graphics card, but performance may be limited depending on your processor. I ran it on a 13-inch MacBook Pro with a Blackmagic eGPU, and it runs like a charm. It's great, but there won't be many people in my situation. And I ran it without the eGPU, the Blackmagic eGPU, and it could only run at 720p resolution. Everything was on low, and my average frame rate was 30. So it was playable, but it just wasn't a good experience. And that's what I mean, they need to work on optimizing this game for low-end Macs. Alright, here are 2 bonus games for you. In October, Feral Interactive announced that they will be bringing the action-adventure game Shadow of the Tomb Raider to macOS on the 5th of November. They are yet to release the system requirements, but expect it to be somewhat similar to the prior game, so probably it's best played on recent Macs with dedicated graphics. Also, Oceanhorn 2 is now playable on Mac. It had a bug with the autosave feature, which caused Cornfox and Bros to delay the Mac App Store version. What do you think of the current state of Mac gaming in 2019? Are you happy with these new games that are coming our way, or are you after more AAA experiences? Maybe Shadow of the Tomb Raider will be for you. Let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe and turn on notifications to be alerted about upcoming Mac gaming videos. Anyway, thanks for watching.